Today I'm interviewing Jimmy Cheek about his career and how he got there. All right, to start things off, tell me about yourself and what is your occupation?
My name is Jimmy. I'm 33 years old, and I graduated from UC Riverside with a degree in Japanese language, literature, culture, and a minor in business administration. And currently, I'm a restaurant manager at Cafe Sevilla in downtown Riverside.
All right. All right. So when you were around my age, did you know what you wanted to be? What career you wanted to get in?
No, not at all. Um, I was at that time when I was that age, when you graduate from high school, you move on to college. I was kind of forced into the whole traditional paradigm of, you have to decide and learn what you want to be for the rest of your life. But I had no idea. I didn't really have any pull one way or the other. I had a lot of successful family members, doctors, dentists, lawyers, and I had thought about all those different professions, but none of them excited me at the time. Nothing really spoke to me. Um, so when I was your age, 18, I did what was the easiest thing for me, and I went out to a faraway college, far away from home,
Mm-hmm.
and I started studying computer engineering, which was fun for about a couple of quarters. And then I realized there was way too much calculus, and I
Yeah.
felt like I got way in over my head. And I decided that I needed a change of scenery. So I came back down to Southern California, came back home, started going to community college at RCC, and I just kind of took it at a slower pace. Got a job, waited for things to come to me, and waited for my calling to, I guess, materialize.
All right.
So no, I had no idea what I wanted to do at your age.
How long did it take you to get where you are today?
A long time. Um, you could say it took me about 8 or 9 years. Where I am today, I'm a restaurant manager, but when I started off in this industry, I started as a busser. Um, right around 2006, I had a career change. Um, I had I guess you could say, a falling out with the job that I had for about 3 years, and I found myself without a job for a while, and I really didn't know what direction I wanted to go in, what I wanted to do, and I ended up getting a job as a restaurant busser at this little Japanese hole in the wall in Colton, and I started working there, and that was the beginning of my introduction to the restaurant industry. Um, and I have worked my way up since then. That was back in 2006, so it was 9 years ago.
All right. Well, would you mind telling me us about any jobs you had before?
Sure, sure, sure. So before I started working in the restaurant industry, I worked in a lot of different places. I worked for years at GameStop. I was an English teacher in Japan for a year. And then when I came back to America, I worked for a utility billing company, reading meters and putting in data and customer service and all that. Uh, but like I said before in the previous answer, in 2006, that's when I really first got into the restaurant industry. And from there, I worked my way up. As a busser, I got promoted to a server at that Japanese place I was working in about 3, maybe 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I was serving there for a couple of years. And then after that, I left that place and I went to start and build a new restaurant. We opened it. It was in downtown Redlands. It's closed now, but it was a great place at the time. It was like a Chinese, Japanese, Thai fusion restaurant with a nightclub called Canton Bistro. And I started there as a server for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then I was promoted to assistant manager. and then after that, manager. And that's really where my restaurant industry career kind of jumped off. That's when I knew that I had found a place and an industry where I felt like I was happy and I felt like I could utilize personal skills, academic skills into something, really substantial. I felt like I was truly capable of doing that job.
During the time you were climbing up to manager position, was there anyone who told you that you couldn't make it?
No, no, that never happened.
Did you ever doubt yourself at all?
Mm, Not when it came to the restaurant industry. Honestly, I walked into my very first job as a busser, and I felt like truly I could run this place. I never doubted myself. I never felt any inferiority. Uh, I've always felt like it was like a natural inclination to, I guess, excel into the position that I am now. And no one ever told me I couldn't do it. No one ever discouraged me. It was it was an easy thing for me. It just seemed to happen, honestly. Uh, Within a span of like less than 2 years, I went from busing to managing, and it's been that way ever since. I've been doing the managing thing now for at least 6 years, maybe a little bit less, maybe five and a half. And every different job I've had, every restaurant I've managed at, it seems like I'm just moving up and up and up. And finally now, I truly feel like I'm working for a excellent, successful corporation, and it's been a fun ride.
All right.
Probably you could say when I was younger, when I was just starting out, when I was your age, I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time, and so I was trying things out. Like I tried out computer engineering. I even thought about going pre-med
Yeah.
and going into the medical field because that's where all my family are. That's what they do. And there were a couple people at that time that said I wasn't cut out to be a doctor. Maybe it was family members or friends. I can't remember.
Mm.
But that was the only time I was ever discouraged to do or fall into a certain career. But other than that, no, I've always felt like I could handle this position where I'm at.
Well, after everything we talked about, is there any advice you would like to give me?
Yes. Whatever you do, wherever you go, whatever you decide to do in life, go into that job knowing that you can be the boss. And I'm not saying be a pretentious jerk, but go into that job knowing that you're going to give it 200%. Go into that job with the goal of knowing that you can climb whatever ladder there is, whatever hoops you have to jump through to make that top position. Uh, when I started working in the restaurant industry, like I said earlier, I knew I could be a manager. I knew I could get there. So if you go into whatever career field you're going to go into with the mindset that you're going to get to the top, you will. That means you have to give 200% all the time. You can't be that guy who just walks into work every day and they're going to do exactly what they need to do to meet the requirements of their job, keep their head down, don't make any waves, be quiet, and go home. Don't be that guy because there's a million other people out there just like that who aren't going to get anywhere in their careers. If you want to excel and you want to go somewhere, be the guy that stands out and be the guy that wants to excel and does everything that they have to do to get there.
All right.
That's it.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, for your time. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
All right.